Hey everyone, it is that time. It has been 3 weeks. Can you believe it? Can you believe that it's been 3 weeks already and it's time for this girl to infuse? I mean, yes, it is happening. First things first, a little bit of Lidocaine to numb the area where the needles go for 7 hours. Batteries for the pump because it will run out on me in less than, and a battery operated pump doesn't last very long. I'm getting it out right now, and we're going to turn it on and we're going to see how much battery is left since the last infusion. Let's see what it says. System okay, power source. Ooh, you know what I did? Sneaky britches here. Put new batteries in before, after the infusion, so I wouldn't have to deal with it. So it says that all is well, that it has full battery. Sometimes I remember to do that after I unplug everything, to plug in new battery. We're full. It says system okay, battery full. I know you couldn't see that from over there, but hey, one less thing I have to do. However, now I am going to go ahead and do this pump. I'm going to put these batteries back in here since I don't need them, and put them aside and find the line that will go through the pump and set everything up for me. Oh, I always forget this until the last second, but Lord, I pray that you will bless me with this infusion, that it will go as planned and there will be no side effects. And I thank you, Father, for each person that has donated plasma so that it can go into my system to help me to become stronger for the next 3 weeks. Thank you, Father God, for blessing them with plasma that was available to share with me. And I thank you for the doctors and the nurses that have worked diligently to extract the plasma and to get it to the lab so it can be processed and so it can go into my system to help me in Jesus' name. Amen. If you've donated plasma, thank you. You are his favorite. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to really quickly get this going so that I can, I know I should have done my numbing medicine first, but since I've already got this started, this little gizmo right here, twist that off. It's a little spring, and you start it right here loading up the pump so that all of this lovely stuff right here will be set and ready to go when I get everything processed. And this is a process. I am so grateful that I have learned to do this so that during this time of pandemic, I am not rushing to the to get to a infusion center, all masked up, waiting for someone to start an IV and to do my infusion from a hospital or infusion center. I thank God that I was trained in how to do this at home. So that's a praise report. Okay, I'm going to set the pump aside. It is all set with the good batteries, and now I am going to apply the lidocaine. And you don't have to see this part because it goes into my thighs, which are over here under the table, so don't panic. You don't have to see anything that you don't want to see. Plus, I never share me inserting the needles. Nobody needs to see that unless it's for training purposes, and I'm not training you. I'm just taking you along on my little journey to infuse. This is not the first time I've taken you along. A little bit of alcohol, prepping the area, a gauze pad, 1, 2, yes, a Tegaderma, a Tegaderm to cover up that site so it will stay sanitized and good, and yeah, we don't want anything to get in there and cause a problem. So we got the Tegaderm, we got the gauze. I'm going to fold it to a tiny square. Yes, I did. This is going over the dot that you cannot see over here. And the Tegaderm is going over that. So everything is going to be nice and covered and secure. Give that about 35 minutes or less. Less probably, because I finally figured out how to do all of this in good quality time. That's one down, and no one has to see that, so I'm covering it up, and I'm getting ready to start the other side. I'm trying to find a new spot because I've been struggling with my needles not wanting to go in because they are thinking, dang, here she comes again with that needle. My thighs are resisting the needles, so I'm working on finding a new site so that I will not have to deal with resistant needles. They have sent me the smallest needles that they possibly can, because I was telling them I'm struggling here. I'm really struggling here. So I'm making me a bag to throw refuge in, so I won't be making a big mess over here, and I will be able to have a clean surface, which is always very important. And my hands are sanitized before starting. My gloves are here for when I start the Hypogammaglobulinemia. I don't want to get that on my hands. And here we go with another glob And I try to avoid my muscle at all cost, because getting that needle into the muscle makes it difficult, very difficult for the medicine to go through. So here we go. Tegaderm. Getting that down on there. Throwing away my garbage. Putting my lidocaine back into the box so that I will know where it is. Lidocaine. Oh, this box, this bag needs to be tossed. We don't need this anymore. Okay. All right, we're going to let this lidocaine do its job. Well, I get set up here to get the rest of this started, but first, a drink of Green Apple Thirst Quencher by Gatorade. Bold and intense. Oh my goodness, I have a brain freeze, I think. Maybe not. Fierce green apple right there. Can you see it? Oh, this is good stuff. I've also got this wonderful concoction. It's called, oh, you can't even see it. Let me turn it this way. Peach mango. Yes. Oh my goodness. The bomb. This is good. Very chilled. Oh, I love it. Okay, so here is my epinephrine. Just in case I have a reaction to Hypogammaglobulinemia. I'm going to put it here right beside me. It will go upstairs with me when I go up. Oh, this is just a baggie. I'm going to get rid of that. Now I'm opening up the IV bag. This bag will hold 20 grams of Hypogammaglobulinemia. And yes, this is Hypogammaglobulinemia. IG, Immunoglobulin, that stuff that I pump into my body because my body doesn't make any immunoglobulin, which we know or maybe you don't know, which is our Germ-fighters. So during this pandemic, I have been extremely careful to wear my mask, even walking my sweet Lucky Pants, who is hunkered down in the living room because he does not like when I have to do this every 3 weeks, because he knows, bless his little heart, he knows that he does not get to sit in Mama's lap because I have the needles in, and my thighs hurt and are irritated for several days. This is the smallest bottle, and this is 5 grams of Hypogammaglobulinemia IG. This is the teeny tiny bottle on each of these is what goes into my thighs first. The process is the tiny bottle has this plumping solution that expands the soft tissue in my thigh. Like, the soft tissue in my thigh is, you know, just normally right there. Got a little lidocaine on it. Put my lidocaine right there. Cover it up. Wait for it to numb a little bit while I process all of this. And then I start putting the high, which is what this little tiny bottle is called, the high. So a total of 22.5 milliliters of high will go into this syringe. Go into this syringe, and into that area of my thigh that is covered with the lidocaine. When it goes in, and it has to go in slowly, you can't just take it and go whoosh, it's in. You have to do this very slowly, pumping it in there. Slow, 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 slow. You get all of that pumped in, and you start, this will start to plump up, okay? The purpose of the high is to plump up the skin, the tissue, the cells underneath the epidermis right here. It makes them rise so that they can receive the bigger bottle here that has the 20 grams or 200 milliliters of human plasma. There's a total of 3 bottles. And the teeny tiny bottle right there under my ring finger is the high. So my next process is to extract the high from these bottles, and it will be stored in this tube right here until I get it all out of the bottles. 1, 2, 3, and pump it into my thighs. manually. Okay? Here is the little bag, excuse me, that contains the 9mm needles. Okay, I'll set this aside. I probably should be doing my pre-meds right now so that I will be able to tolerate the needles. And it will also help whenever I am doing the infusion, so that I will not have a reaction to Hypogammaglobulinemia tonight. So this one is a Benadryl. Take 1 capsule, 25 milligrams by mouth, 30 to 60 minutes prior to each infusion. This is diphenhydramine, 25 milligrams. That's down. Okay. So, next medicine is this lovely Acetaminophen, or Tylenol, whatever you call it. All right, 325 milligrams per tablet, and there's two. There's two of these. I open them both and then take them all at the same time. Anybody else struggle getting these out of the little bubble thing? I struggle, and I have long nails, but I still struggle. So these two little Tylenol, 325 milligrams each. Down the hatch. Okay. Okie dokie. Gonna move all of this aside. I've been making masks and sending them to my friends on YouTube, on Facebook, or neighbors, family. And yes, I have been known to send them in these little bitty boxes. Don't panic. If you get one of these boxes, then it says, now my name or nothing is on here, don't panic, but it's Immunoglobulin Infusion, 10% human with recombinant human hyaluronidase. So, this stuff right here is what is going into my system, but this little box is just the right size to hold about 3, maybe 3 little masks, face masks that I have been sewing. So if you get a box like this and you're freaking out because you don't know if you should open it or not, don't panic. Don't panic. Just when you look at that, go, oh, I need to pray for my sister who is getting these infusions every 3 weeks. This is a good reminder to send me some prayers. So there's that. So where shall we go from here? Oh, all right. I'm going to open up this bag. This bag contains the line that has the needles in it, okay? And like I said, don't panic. We are not doing needles. You don't have to see me stick a needle in my leg or thigh. Some people put these needles in their stomach and do their infusion. I can't do that because my abdomen literally is like a road map of scars from surgeries that I've had over the years before I was diagnosed with this disease. Yeah, so I cannot use this little teeny tiny needles in my abdomen because there's just too much scar tissue and junk in there. All right, well, let's get ahead of this. Get ahead of this game. My legs are starting to feel nice and numb. So my thighs, my areas where this is going to go. So what I've done is taken the blue top off of these, and they are getting a little alky, preppy going on. Want to make sure that nothing is contaminated, and that whenever my needle goes in here to extract it, so I'll show you, this is the process of removing the seals. And another prep. Getting these taken care of. Those are done, and the last one is a biggie. Got to clean up after myself. I keep forgetting to get rid of the mess. So behind me you can see the kitchen cabinet hutch thing that I am still working on, painting it. I don't know if you can see it. It still needs painted. It is not finished. You can see the top of it is beautiful. Look at that color. It's gonna focus. Hopefully it's gonna focus. I love it. Now I have to get up and bring you back. Sorry about having to. Yes, I did it. Another sip. And yes, it's okay for me to drink out of this container. So I'm the only one that lives in my house besides Lucky, and he doesn't drink Gatorade. It's not very ladylike, is it? Miss Southern Belle? Yeah, sorry. So sorry. Okay, guys. I'm going to move all of my important stuff aside that I need to deal with, and we're getting ready to don the gloves. Okay. In my hand, I have the syringe. this little gizmo on here is not sharp pointed. I'm going to start it right here. As you can see, I have air in it. So when I push my needle down into this and flip it up, I'm going to send some air up in there. And I know that you're far away, but you can still see this. Hopefully you can see that Hypogammaglobulinemia, the high. I'm drawing the high right now. This is called drawing the high. When you draw it out of the bottle, you can see that it almost came out all by itself. There's just a little bit more in there. I'm going to get those bubbles out. Push that up a little bit. And you got to wiggle that. You got to pull your needle down to get that last drop. It's very important. Okay? I'm going to sit this one over here. Heat my needle up. I still have air in that. You can see. There's air from here to here. I'm just going to flip this bottle over because I don't want to lose any of this. It's very important that I get as much of this under my skin as possible so that it will plump up the soft tissue. Alright, here we go. Come on, baby. Get in there. I'm so weak. I'm a weakling. I am such a weakling. Okay. Let's take a break. I'm so strong, though. I bent that. That's why they send extras. Okay, this is going over here to go in the sharps container, even though it's not a sharp. Needleless medicine prep. Cannula. Cannula? How do you say that? C-A-N-N-U-L-A. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry. Cannula. Whatever it's called. Don't laugh at myself. Oh, I'm the only one laughing. Okay, so I have gloves on. I'm trying to open this crazy thing. Okay, we are in. We are in. Okay. Whew. We got it. Let's try this again, shall we? Get in there, baby. Oh, I did it. Let's put a little air up in that bottle. And you can watch it come out if I get up here close enough. Ooh, it's filling it up. Yes, and then I've got to just wiggle that needle down a little bit. Not really a needle, but you know what I mean. Wiggle that down, get all the bubbles out of there, because down in them bubbles, you know, you're going to find a little bit of high. Every plump counts. Okay, there is a very tiny bottle of high left to pull or to draw. That's what you call it, drawing the high. Come on. I need every drop. Okay, we got it. Okay, let's see if we can get the rest of this with the same needle. Needleless med prep. Okay, got to do this very, very carefully. Don't want to break this baby or bend it. Oh, I did it, guys. What? I got her in there. Put a little air in that baby. Let it out. Whoa. Oh, it's already out. Look at that. It's such a tiny little bottle. It's done. Just a few bubbles in there. Just a couple little bubbles to get. Come on, bubble. Bubble, bubble. Get the rest of them bubbles out of there. All right. I do believe we have done it. All of the high is out of the bottles. Oh, there's a little drop left. We'll take it. We'll take every bit of it. We'll take every drop. Okay, we're done with that part. And yes, I'm going to push these bubbles up. Get them bubbles out of there. And bringing over this gizmo. Untangling my needles. Twisting that off. I'm going to lock my needles. I'm going to do a dry prime. You may have heard me use that terminology in previous videos, but a dry prime is when you get your needle, you get your medicine, this stuff in this syringe, almost to the needle, but not quite, because this stuff burns. Any of you mothers out there that are doing your child's high, and they tell you that it's burning or stinging, trust me, it is. So what you need to do is do a dry prime so that whenever this goes into that baby's thighs or wherever you're doing their infusion at, make sure that the medicine is not touching those needles before the needle gets into the leg or shoulder or wherever you're doing your thing. Okay, guys, gals, friends, family, maybe. Might be family on here. It's time to draw this big bottle stuff out. So I'm going to go ahead and hook the stuff up. Yeah, it was really weird. It looked like it was wet there for a minute, and I'm going, I know that's not supposed to have anything in it, so checking that out. All right, so you join these two right here. Get your bag holding it. It's got to have a little bit of gravity there, so I'm going to hang it down here by my leg. This is the Sharpie point that's going to go into this gray top to draw this out. And yes, it is crazy. You gotta really give it some push to get it down in there, and then you turn it up. And pray that it's going to come out without any problem. And you can see the bubbles if I got it close enough. Try to hold it still. Yeah, you can see those bubbles going up because it's going into the bag. It's going into the bag. I'm going to put it back down so that the gravity can do its thing. And yes, I don't lose any of this precious liquid gold is what we call it. Very, very, very expensive liquid gold. So the lidocaine on my thighs is working well because it's had plenty of time or is processing while I do this. So that's why you do the lidocaine. You're supposed to be doing it first. I don't always get it done right away at first. Okay, so this is where we are. We're getting this. I know there's oodles of bubbles in here. I hate when that happens, but I'm getting as much as I can out of there. And then I extract. Okay. Set it right there. I'm going to go for the next one. Oh, yeah, we did it. You can see the bubbles have started right away. Thank goodness. You can see that? You may even hear it. Turn it around a little bit. You can see all those bubbles that are collecting, which is sad because there's a lot of the medicine that gets stuck in this bottle. I'm going to bring it down, bring the needle down. Get as much of those bubbles out of there as I can. Wiggle it. And the very last one is this little baby one that has, wow, 50 milliliters or 5 grams of the medicine in it, the immunoglobulin. So, let me get that. It doesn't want to go in, guys. Oh, finally made it. That is a first. The first time that one of these littles has pumped out immediately. It usually is forever getting down the hatch. But look at that. It is almost done. Which means the needles are next. Not exactly, not exactly my favorite part. This is the easy part. Seriously. This is the easy part. Some of you may think this is not the easy part. The easy part is just getting the needles in and getting it done. Well, if you get your infusions at the infusion center, you are probably thinking, you are kidding. Easy? No thank you. I'll let someone else just do all of the hard work, and I'll just sit here and read a book or take a nap or troll Facebook or YouTube or whatever while the infusion takes place. That's okay too. That's okay too. But right now, I am grateful that I know how to do this at home subcutaneously. That's what it's called when you are getting your infusion at home. It's called subcutaneous, which means it goes into your soft tissue. Okay? I've got everything out of there that I possibly can. And I did sit these upside down because I want to get every drop. So I've just reinserted that, and I'm watching those bubbles come on out. Yes! A little more. Come on, baby. You can do it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. That's probably all I'm going to get. Ooh. I hate when I lose a drop. Look at that. Let's see how much we can get. These bubbles. What? Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Drop it down. Yes! Look at that coming out of there. Oh, well, you can't see it. I am watching it over here. Going down into the bag. Love, love, love it. That is amazing. Every drop counts. This is liquid gold. To all you guys and gals out there that are getting infusions, all you zebra friends that are doing this every week or every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks like me. God bless your heart. God bless your heart. I'm letting every drop get in there, y'all. You know I am. Every single drop. When I first started getting infusions, my immunoglobulin was so low that I was getting 60. Look. $60 grams every time, every 3 weeks. And now I'm able to go down to 45 grams, but I'm still doing every 3 weeks. We're going to see what my numbers are here shortly. So right now, I am trying to maintain as much of the good stuff as I possibly can. Okay, I'm going to click this little thing here, lock that up so I don't lose any of this goodness. Okay, there are bubbles in here. The way I get rid of the bubbles in this bag, I know some people are like, what are you doing? Well, I'm getting ready to get rid of some of these bubbles by using this lovely needle. And I will insert it into this spot, and it will the bubbles out, extract the bubbles. The bubbles will burp out. How's that? I'm going to burp out the bubbles. We're having a little burping going on over here. Getting the bubbles out of the IV bag or the bag. And catch any bubbles that may come out of there. Like this. Close this off. Give it a real good pinch. I don't want to lose any of my good liquid gold up in the tubing here. Okay. Keep squeezing out them air bubbles. Got a little burping going on. There we go. Now let's take care of the sharp. Get rid of this Sharpie. I have a sharps container that these go in. I know, I don't have it over here at the table with me. Oh, I was just checking. I usually have it under this table. Okay, let's get all of our stuff out of the way. We're going to remove this gizmo now that we are not needing it to extract the liquid gold. So this is going into the trash bag until I can get to the sharps container. So that's secure. These are secure. And I've got all of my little bottles empty here. And I need a drink. Woo! Okie dokie. So this is ready to be attached to the pump. So I'm going to do that before I start injecting the high into my thighs. First thing of business is to lock this little clamp so I don't lose any of my liquid gold during the process. And this gizmo is coming off. Wait, I'm going to put it back on for a second, because you're probably wondering, where is that going to go? Well, if you see, there are 3 outlets. This is the outlet where all of this, all of the IG from the big bottle went into the bag from this outlet. The outlet all the way over to this side was the burping outlet, I call it. This one in the middle is where the pump gets attached, and we're getting ready to, I'm going to take this back off here. And it goes down into this outlet all the way. You got to really get some muscle behind you to push that all the way in. Now it's secure. It's not going anywhere. This can hang just like an IV bag from your IV pole, which I do have. My IV pole is upstairs in my bedroom, which is where I will be finishing the complete infusion upstairs. I do my infusion at night because I am a wimp and I don't like the feeling of the infusion going into my body. I'm just telling the truth, guys. The fact of the matter. It's true, it's true. I have done the infusions midday, whenever, and I'm not comfortable doing it. I just cannot. I prefer having the needles nice and secure into my thighs. And just to give you a little tutorial of how I do that, I take my non-woven sponges, sterile non-woven sponges, 2x2, and it's a 4-ply. I take it and fold it this way, and then I usually fold it one more time in a 4. But because the butterflies are, the needles are about this size, I'm going to pull this open here so you can see. This is how, yes, I know the needle's in there. I don't want to stab myself. This is the needle, and it's covered. There's a covering on it. The butterfly needle, I like to make sure that when I put this into my thigh, into the site, that this is covering it completely, and then I apply the Tegaderm over it. I want to make sure that because I am doing my infusion throughout the night, I want to make sure that it does not get accidentally pulled out of the skin, and I don't want to lose any of the liquid gold because of the needle possibly not being in far enough and having leaking from the site. So to secure it, and I learned that the hard way, I was not trained to secure your needles with this, but I have learned on my own that when you are using your infusion, if you're infusing at night while you sleep, to use this as security. And you can also do a little extra on there. And I know this is a long video. It's okay. There's 2 in here. You can take this apart and take your other one and just fold it into the little 4 like I showed you when I did my Lidocaine. You fold it like this and you put it on top of this one before you put your Tegaderm on. You have a little extra security with this tape, so with it taped down, so you're going to have that security with your needle. So that's, I'm getting this prepped and ready right now because we are getting ready to do. It's getting ready to happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen, y'all. So yes, indeed. I'm gonna just go ahead and do this, the one fold, and put it over here with the other, and make my little bandage deal. Alright, it's like, it's almost like this one is the Band-Aid, and the folded one on top, that's folded 4 times, is the part of the Band-Aid that goes over the boo-boo. You know what I mean? Okay, so those are ready. I'm going to sit those down right there. Yes, I am. Now, just so you know, I will be priming this upstairs when I'm ready to go ahead and start the pump. But I'm going to prime this I'm going to prime this right now. So I will be ready whenever I get ready to do my daily wheelies on my, knee, on my thighs, getting this ready. So these little lines are so tiny. It is definitely a booger butt. Excuse my, it's very hard to see that medication or that stuff going in. It is so difficult to see it. And you have to be very careful when you are doing it, because you've got your little locks. I'm sorry, I was out of the camera. You got your little locks right here. And, you can just push that slowly and watch to see where it's going. And it is good. It is like stopped right here where the locks are. So, when I put these into my thighs here in a minute, it is not going to have the high all the way into the needle where you will feel the pain. It feels like a bee sting. No kidding. So, mamas, if you're helping your child do this, if you're doing this for your children, however often they have to have these done, and they keep telling you, it hurts, it stings, and you say, oh, you got to deal with it. Okay, let me just tell you. It's pretty ouchy for me as an adult. So learn to do the dry prime for your child so they will not have to endure the bee sting every single time. Once you learn how to do the dry prime, you will hear less crying and complaining when it comes time to do infusions. Just a heads up from experience. As an adult, literally, I can't deal with bee stings. I'm not good at handling bee stings, so doing this is like a intense bee sting that lasts for however long it takes you to put all that in there. So, I just guzzled. Y'all see me guzzling over here? I was guzzling. All right. And no, you're not going to have to witness seeing my legs, my thighs. It's going to happen over here when nobody's looking, but I'm getting ready to do that right now. Okay, off comes the Lidocaine patch. Lidocaine patch in the trash. Alcohol prep to wipe that off. Make sure it's good and ready. You may ask me a question. How do you know where the spot is now that you've taken the patch off? Well, actually, there is a white area on the skin where you were doing your, where you had applied the lidocaine. There is a white area. So you know that I'm blowing this so that I can put my needle in. You know that that is the area that is numb and you are set to go. So that is how you know where the area is, because it does leave a white circle area. Whatever. You will see a little patch that shows you exactly where you had your lidocaine. And it's really interesting. You look at it and you're like, wow. It looks a little light over there. My skin is white. Yes, it is. It is indeed. So, getting that needle set up. I know my fingers are sweating down inside here like crazy. I'm going to do the one that I showed you guys so you could see that it's a butterfly. Yeah, I'm going to do that one first. First, I better take off this little protection thing. I'm going to bring my little gauze over here so I can do this. Y'all hold your ears so you don't hear me scream, okay? I hate needles. I can do this. I'm joking. I can do this. I'm not joking about doing this. I'm just saying. It is what it is. It is what it is, y'all. And I'm excited. I found a new spot. And it is not It is not hurting. I mean, usually, I know I gotta take that off to put these on. They'll stick all over me. Usually, when I stick that needle in, it tries so hard to not go in. It just sticks out of my skin like, I'm not going in there. What do you think you're doing? Yeah, I could write a book about these needles and how resistant they are. Yep, very much so. So, that is done. I'm unlocking the little lock thing. One needle in, guys. Next needle coming right up. First, we got to get rid of all of the lidocaine that's all over the leg. Thigh it is. Fan that real good. Get it dry. Bringing over my, hang on, let me do this part. Yeah, we're going to get her done. Bringing over this. Okay. Got our little needle here. Make sure I don't show my muscles or anything. I don't want a muscle sticking out so I can get the needle stuck in the muscle. That's a pain. Alright, we've got my little bandages here. I'm going to cover up that. Covering up that butterfly. Going for the tegaderm. Yes! It has happened, guys, and it's been, I don't even know how long I've been at this, but we got it done. We got her done, okay? That's the main thing. It's done. Okay. So, let me get rid of my garbage. That glove needs to go. This needs to go. Okay. This right here, I'm going to unlock this. There we go. And what happens next is you pull back on the syringe. Make sure you're not in a blood vessel. Nope. No blood here. And then we can begin. And this has to go in slowly. I had a nurse telling me that this was supposed to go in 10 minutes. No. This goes in 1 milliliter, 1 milliliter like every 2 minutes or something like that. Well, I was so aggravated by the pain of this going in that I hated infusing every time. Because I was trained that this had to go in 10 minutes. And that was not correct. This goes in however long it takes for you to get all of this into your thigh so it can do its job and plump up the soft tissue. And if you feel stinging, you're putting it in too fast. So basically this is going in and it's taking the skin, it's going into the skin and it's pushing the soft tissue open, plumping it up so that all of this right here can be infused into the soft tissue of the body. It does not go into a vein, it does not go into a blood vein or blood vessel. It goes into the soft tissue of the body. And yes, it is a process. And it takes longer than most people think. So, I'm going to push some more of this good stuff in and wait. That's how it's done. Now, once this has all been put into your body, guess what? You have 10 minutes to start your pump. That's where the 10 minutes come into play. Not push this through your skin and into your body in 10 minutes. No. Once this is all in, you have 10 minutes to start your pump. So, that was a lesson that I learned because, excuse me, that was a lesson that I had to learn the hard way, the painful way, until my BFF, my best friend forever, who has a very similar rare disease like me, so similar that we both infuse with Hypogammaglobulinemia. Both of us have this rare primary immune deficiency. Hers is called CVID, common variable immune deficiency. Mine is called Hypogammaglobulinemia, which is along the same lines. I just have different subclasses than she does, which is really interesting because it's so close to being the same thing, but there's a few subclasses difference. But we both have the same pump. We both infuse with the same stuff. I infuse every 3 weeks. She infuses every 2 weeks. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're dealing with. And we're not blood related. We're just best friends. But I do call her my sister. I would love to have the cucumber lime Gatorade that's out there, but guess what? You can't get it because it's such a hit. It's such a refreshing taste. I love cucumbers. But if I can't get the cucumber, I will take the green apple. It's fierce and it's very bold and intense. Absolutely. But I also shared, this is my peach mango V8. It's delicious. I deal with that too. I've already been guzzling a lot of stuff. Time for another squeeze. I've been guzzling a lot of drinks today because being hydrated before and after infusion helps you to avoid side effects. And some of the side effects, besides the obvious, where the biggest thing on your little container, let me see, is it's down inside the box. It says, and all of you, I'm sure, have read the side effects or have been told the side effects by your doctor, and that is having these infusions makes you at risk to have blood clots, okay? But you got to weigh things out. Do I want to do the infusion and stop being sick all the time? Or do I want to stop the infusion because it might cause a blood clot and be sick all the time? You tell me. So, that's what I wanted to share as well. Let me pump a little more. So that's some of the stuff. I've had several people ask me, is it worth it? Look what you're going through every 3 weeks. Come on. Is it really worth doing this infusion stuff? Is it really worth it to deal with all of this, put the stuff in your thighs or your abdomen, whoever does abdomen, God bless you, and I'm glad you can. I can't. So it's thighs for me. So anyway, I've had people ask me, even family, is that something that you have to do the rest of your life? Or, here's one of the questions I've had from someone else. I thought you already did that. Are you telling me you have to do that every 3 weeks? You can't just do it that one time and be done? No, this is every 3 weeks. Because my body does not make germ fighters. Now, what are germ fighters, you may ask? Germ fighters is the immunoglobulin that is in human plasma. All humans have plasma in their body, supposedly. I say that because back in the college days, I did go one time and donate plasma, I thought. But I didn't have any plasma to donate, like, that worked properly. So I guess I donated a dud. That was the only time I donated. It was just not something that I was just very, very fatigued and dizzy during the whole process, and oh my goodness, it didn't work for me. But I am so blessed by the people who can donate plasma. I donated it, but there was nothing there for anyone to use because I haven't made immunoglobulin. And I was a very sick child, dealing with serious UTIs and bladder issues most of my life, and still deal with that today, but not as severely as before infusing, because when the infusion goes into my system, all of these germ fighters just start working and attack all the bacteria, and I feel like I have a new lease on life for 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks, and then I start wearing down. So the last 2 days have been booger days, as in no energy, just very, very exhausted. The fatigue has been insane. Can't stay awake during the day. Can't sleep at night sometimes. When I can't sleep, oh, I better be paying attention. When I can't sleep, I sew. So anyone that is getting a mask from me, sometimes that happens late at night. And if you have followed me on YouTube, which this is probably one of the longest videos on YouTube that you will watch, because I tried to do this live and got bumped by YouTube, Popo, so it's all good. It was probably a robot because they don't have full capacity in their employees right now. They're taking some time off, so this is not a live stream. This is a long video showing my infusion prep for Thursday, May 14, 2020. And I am almost 15 milliliters into getting all of this into my skin. So basically, you know how people put that stuff in their lips to plump them up? That's what this is doing to my thigh, to the skin underneath my epidermis. It is plumping it up. I could put some of that in here and get rid of those wrinkles, y'all. What do you think? I'm kidding! Hey, God made me just the way I am, and fearfully and wonderfully made. I have all this beautiful gray hair, and I have earned all of it, so this is the a la natural right here. This is the real me. So I am feeling a little sting. Unfortunately, it's not bad. It's not seriously killing me. My Lidocaine was doing its job, but I am feeling a little bit of ouchie going on over here. Not seriously bad, and I'm keeping an eye on everything, but you can see, I can see, you can't. You can't see what's going on over here. I can see the skin plumping up just a little bit under the needle site, which means that the high is doing its job. The high part of cuvia, high cuvia is doing its job. So that's what's going on over on this side of the table. Yes. I like to do a little double security over on this side of the table as well. Get it out of here. Yeah. A little security over here going on. I like to put a little more Tegaderm over here to make sure we don't lose this, because I am going to be crashing in my big bed right after this with, y'all know who, Lucky Pants. And the last thing we need is for Lucky Pants to try to get up in Mama's business while I'm sleeping and snuggle with my needles in place. That would not be a good thing. So just for security measures, I'm doing this. I know I have this video and over here, and I just got a beep beep on my phone, so I'm just going to check and see what's going on. It's all good. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Just had a friend telling me that her mother was doing better, that had surgery on her leg, so that's good. All right, gonna throw this one over here on this side, just a little more security. so that I can snuggle in my bed with Lucky Pants, who is not, he is not in here. This is a bad time for him and Mama, because he loves to be right at, well, you guys have seen my videos. He's right in my face all the time. Guys, this is going down. And you know, I'll be walking in and out of the bathroom with my little IV pole tonight. That's the way it happens. That's just life. That's just life with infusions. Almost gone. And this is so good. It reminds me of Snapple. Don't tell anybody I said that, but if you've ever had those absolutely delicious Snapple apples, this is a green apple. Granny Smith tasting Snapple Gatorade right here. So, did I just marry Gatorade and Snapple? I just did I not? Oops, sorry. Sorry! That's good stuff, though. Tell you about it. We're going to pump a few more of this, milliliters in. I've been talking too long, and it's been going slow. It's all good. It is all good. And while we're chit-chatting, these little bottles are so adorable. I'm telling on myself right now, I have removed these from this gizmo, this little encasing, and I have used them for sand and seashells and some other things that I have up my sleeve that I've been doing with these. And hey, if you pay for it, might as well use it, right? And they can be cleaned. Don't panic. They can be cleaned very well, and yes, I take very, very cautious care to do it without having any of this stuff getting on me. I'm looking at these bubbles right now in here, and they look like bubbles from dish soap. You can see the rainbow color in those little bubbles. So anyways, that's just me being a little transparent and getting some more of this pumped through. And I am going to gather up the rest of the stuff that's on the table. I'm going to put my pump back in its bag because I don't want to lose it. The batteries are going in the bag. This is going in the bag. This is the epinephrine. Always make sure that's down in there. And this cool little pouch holds this perfectly so that you can actually have it set up and zip shut if you're going to be walking around doing stuff in your kitchen or changing diapers, if you're a mother who has to stay busy during this infusion time, or your kid is like active and wants to hang out with other siblings while being infused. You can carry all this stuff with you. It's like a little fanny pack. I love it. Mine just goes, because I do mine at night, mine literally just goes on the IV pole with this hanging on the IV pole. And everything is compact and good. We're getting this in. It's almost time for me to end this video because we will be transferring everything upstairs for the finishing and starting of the pump. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me this very late. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm still doing this. It takes about 6.5 hours. Once I get all of this in, maybe almost 7 hours to finish up. I do save these, so I'm not tossing them. I know. I know. People are like, you are crazy. Well, you know, I do believe that the landfill is filled with enough stuff. You know how beautiful these are painted as bottle trees. Oh, just gave you an idea. Yeah, push a little more of that in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. I've got a few hours still ahead of me. Several, to be exact. And whew, I am going to try to get this posted on my channel. If you are a subscriber, thank you for coming on and watching this process. If you are a zebra like me who is infusing with Hypogammaglobulinemia at home or at the infusion center with other types of human plasma medication, I know that there are different ones. I have tried 2, Hizentra, which I was very allergic to, and Hypogammaglobulinemia. So, yes, these 2 are the only ones I've done, and I know that there are several others available for you at the infusion center. So, if you have stopped by to watch this, God bless you real big. Remember that we're not in this journey alone, that there are other people that are dealing with very similar situations and have to infuse, and God has not neglected or forgotten you. And it's very easy to think to yourself, somebody messed up, look at me, I don't make Germ-fighters. Well, I agree that sometimes we think to ourselves, why am I the one that is missing parts of my genetic makeup? Why am I different? I think that I'm different right now because God wants me to inspire you to be happy, to be cheerful, to see things from a different perspective, not to see yourself as poor, pitiful me, but as someone that is an overcomer, that has made it this far, and you're still on this journey, and you're not alone. There are zebras out there that are doing the same thing, that are pushing that high, that are doing that infusion every 3 weeks, every 2 weeks, or even every 1 week. Some people do it once a week. I know some friends that are on Hizentra that do it once a week. So remember that God has provided doctors to help you. He has educated them with His wisdom. And stay positive and try to encourage others. Even if you're in the infusion center and you are seeing people that are down and depressed who have just started infusing and are miserable, don't know what the future holds, try to encourage them. Try to give them a word of inspiration. And I'm just going to tell you right now, if you've watched anything on my channel, that Yarny Zebra and stuff, I try to busy myself by giving back to others. Right now, I am on a mission to mask, and I have been making masks for people in my community, people on my YouTube community, people on my Facebook community, and in my local city. I have been making masks for those folks, and they are free. All you have to do is ask for a mask. If you do not have one and you cannot get one, I will make you a mask and send it to you, or if you live here locally in my city, you can come and pick it up, or have someone pick it up for you. I just so happen to have a mask sitting here beside me that I made at the 1st of February, I think. This is the style, the design that they were asking people to make. And this is like the deaconess mask with the pleats. And I do a different mask now that has that is more, it's easier to breathe out of for people with asthma. I still like this one. I love it. I wear it when I walk my dog. It is absolutely very comfortable. I have no problems with it at all. Got your nose piece up here. And I just love it. But I do have a different style that I'm making now. And that has also been a very popular style for people that have asthma. So God bless you all real big. I am trying to finish this pump it on in so I can go upstairs and excuse me, and get started on the rest of this business, because I know it's going to be a long night. So you guys remember, Jesus loves you. I'm praying for you. I love you, and we are his favorite. I say that almost every time I do a video, but it is true. We are his favorite, and he loves us. And if you don't know him, you can ask him to come and live inside your heart right now. He will give you strength. He will give you peace, mercy. He will give you grace, because if you feel like you have done things in your life where nobody loves you, that Jesus certainly doesn't love you, or God certainly doesn't want to live inside your heart, you're wrong. There's a God of mercy and grace who is just waiting for you to whisper his name and ask him to come in and live inside you. You can do that. It's a simple thing. And I just want you to know that you're not alone, that you have friends. Jesus loves you. I am asking you to smile and be happy, because you're not alone. There's so many people that are going through similar things and worse things. So be encouraged tonight. Or should I say this morning? It's almost 1 a.m. and I need to get on with this and start the business, woo, of getting this pump going. God bless you. And like and subscribe. If you know someone who needs to see this video, who is getting infusions, who is having issues understanding why you have to go through this and walk through this journey, you're not walking alone. stay faithful to taking care of you. And remember, this is for a purpose. And it's to make you feel better and to heal. So God bless you real big.